Oh no, sir. I'm good on Captain America: Winter Soldier.
All right, let's do this. All right, so let's do this. First off, this is the ninth film of Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's directed by the Russo brothers. It's written by the Christopher. What is it? I got my notes here.
Russo brothers.
Yeah, I mentioned
Written by Markus and McFeely.
Yeah, Markus McFeely, and of course it stars Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Anthony Mackie, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Redford, and of course Sebastian Stan, and of course a huge cast here. And Jeff, when you first saw this movie back in April 2014, what was your expectation for this Winter Soldier?
I didn't see it in April 2014. Remember, because I got hurt.
Oh yes. No, my bad. Yeah,
I can't remember when I saw it, but I saw it like on TV. Remember, my first movie in theaters was Infinity
War. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my first MCU movie in theaters. So I thought it was outstanding. Like, I mean, from what I remember, like the first time I watched it, but I couldn't tell you when it was. Like, I can't give you a date. Like, you know what I'm saying, whatnot. But I mean, we reviewed it on the Bleeding Edge, right? And like on the review, like I raved about it. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10. I think it's one of the best MCU films ever, if not the best MCU film. It's definitely like in the top 3 for me. Like in my rotating top 3 of like that could be number 1 sort of, since I'm not good at picking number 1s, like Endgame, Infinity War, Winter Soldier is like how it lines up for me in my head, right? And then it's all kind of wide open after that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it becomes more wide open. But those 3 are like my locked in, definite top 3 MCU films, like top tier, the most high caliber, like, you know what I'm saying? And Winter Soldier is probably, like, honestly, the best movie it is. Like, overall, like, the best overall movie. Like, overall movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the different elements it has going on and whatnot and everything, right? All the different, like, like, layers it adds. It might be a better movie than Endgame or Infinity War. It might be.
Yeah, I mean, I fairly enjoy this one. I mean, this is the movie that got me.
Like, does a really good job as the villain of the film.
Yes, he does, which we'll get into. I mean, definitely the Winter Soldier was a
great villain. He doesn't get his proper due, I don't think.
No, well, it's very interesting. I think it's because
I wasn't connected to the YouTube and all that back then, so I don't know what people said back then. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the thoughts were about that, his performance, right? But like, honestly, I feel like it's one of the things that, and we'll talk about it later, but like, I don't mean to cut you off, but that, and like we've talked before, Sam and Black Widow, right? People don't give them the credit that they deserve and whatnot, because without them, there's no film.
No, I mean, all across around, this is the best MCU film. It's not my personal favorite in terms of MCU, but it's top tier for me in my top ranking of the MCU films. This and Civil War. I actually like more Civil War than this movie, but for different reasons, of course. I mean, of course, it has Iron Man. It has a big ambition of political themes, just like the Winter Soldier does. It's just overall a very ambitious
film.
Yeah, but one thing I love about the Winter Soldier, it's just a great film. It's a great action political film. It gets to the heart of who Captain America is. Like, this is what like Man of Steel should have been. Like, this is what you can do as a dark Captain America movie, but not making the character darker, Like, Captain America is still the same character we saw from the first 2 films we saw of him in Phase 1, the First Avenger and the Avengers. And this movie made me really like Captain America, because at the time I just wasn't a fan of the character, and this movie made me really like Chris Evans' version of Captain America, and I really love this character now, because this movie just show you how really, like, how strong he is, how, very, passionate about his beliefs, he will do the sacrifice, to save others,
This movie comes off the Avengers.
Oh yeah, I mean, without the Avengers, it also, like, I say, like, move forward the plots we saw in the Avengers, and then set up these twists that we're gonna get into, like really, in Age of Ultron. So this movie was very important for the MCU, and successfully done that very well.
Big Stone film.
Yeah. So let's get into the beginning of the film. So when we first saw Captain America, we see him running around the Washington monument. And this is where we get introduced to Sam Wilson the first time, which is great, played by Anthony Mackie, and great way to start the movie. Very funny when you say on your left, and then poor Sam, he just had to, had to take the blunt. It's like, come on, dude, not like, and then we get this really cool character development between Sam and Captain America about what do you call it, like what kind of tour you went to as a soldier, what branch you were in, like all that is really great, and a great way to learn about Sam Wilson's character. And by the way, Sam Wilson, great character. He's the best part about this movie too, and I'm so happy he has become Captain America. So what do you think about that part? I didn't move forward, but what do you think about that introduction of Sam Wilson here?
I think that Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans have great chemistry on the screen. It was really great casting by Sarah Haley Finn, casting Anthony Mackie. You know what I'm saying? Really great casting for that character. He's an integral part of the Avengers, right? He becomes one of the Avengers after Age of Ultron, and the next round of Avengers that comes out, he's a part of that, that Avengers team, like an integral part. Yep. Going into Infinity War and and whatnot and everything, right? He had some really good scenes in the end battle and Endgame. He had some really good moments in the final battle. Yeah, he stood out. They let him shine. Like when you think about it, they really gave him his proper due. And then they gave him the shield. So it's just great to see them in the beginning. How they started off. You know what I'm saying? Well, not before everything else unfolded, right?
Yeah. And I mean, he gave us the line for the portals to open on your left, which was a great payoff here. That's the thing about this opening.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really nice to hear that. I like when I was rewatching this, I was like, oh, yes.
Sure, I should have wore it. I have that t-shirt. I've got the on the left t-shirt.
Oh, my God, that is so cool.
I've got it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's nice. By the way, I like your shirt right now. The Menlo shirt. It's really neat. Oh,
that's
right. Like X-Men and Star Wars mixed together. That's cool.
Got a match, sir. Got a match.
Yeah, they got a match. And in this match, which I like. So no, what were you gonna say?
I'll coordinate my clothing.
Yeah, actually you have a good taste of coordinate.
I wear my hats with my t-shirts and all that stuff and whatnot and all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good. I like it. This is actually a good camera. Probably my favorite, I would say.
You just like the X-Men hat, and you like the Mandalorian too.
I mean, somewhat. I mean, I like.
Did you see that article or whatnot that the Mandalorian, the Mando movie is going to come out in 2026?
May 2026. Yeah, I saw that.
I wonder when they're going to do the season 4 of the Mandalorian.
I mean,
I want to see more Bo-Katan, baby. Bo-Katan's my favorite.
I mean, it could be either next year or maybe the year.
Bo-Katan, sir.
Yeah. It has to be like a 2025 or 2027. Before or after the movie.
Now that Pedro's Reed Richards, who knows?
I mean, that's the thing. We don't know how's the schedule is going to be.
We're going to have to fit in on the Monday show soon. Probably next Monday. Not this Monday, but next Monday. We're going to have to fit in some MCU news and whatnot, everything, because we do know now that Spider-Man is going to. That we know when they're going to start production on Spider-Man and whatnot, when they're going to start shooting it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
see. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. No, my final thoughts on the initial scene is, I like seeing Black Widow roll up in that car. I think it's, and I like their banter. Like I like the banter back and forth between Black Widow and like Cap to go into the movie. Like I like their banter back and forth about people he should date and all that shit, whatnot, and all that. does a really good job delivering those lines with him. You know what I mean? Like they have good chemistry too together on screen.
Yeah, and I think this is the perfect superhero duo that we have.
They have a relationship. You know, the two of them. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot. You saw it in Endgame. You know, or and everything and whatnot, right? Like she went on the run with him.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, she helped stop Black Panther.
Think about it. It was Sam and Nat and Cap that went on the run.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I mean,
they spent months together. Or we don't even know how long together, or whatever, whatnot. You know, living in the hotels and shit and all that. Like you know, chasing Hydra or whatever, doing missions and shit and whatnot.
Yeah,
Avengers.
Yeah, with the timeline with that, it's like 2 years because
2 years.
Yeah, because it's been because the Black Widow movie is set after Civil War, and like there's a time gap between those.
See, they should have made a movie off that time period. That would have been a great movie. We talked about that before on the MCU Bleeding Edge. Yeah. The Secret Avengers movie, that would have been really good to do with Nick Fury in it, right? Like running the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have Scarlet Witch there too, right?
Yeah, and Vision, because we know Vision like
have Vision there too.
Yeah,
they'd be the Secret Avengers. You know what I'm saying? 5 of them.
Yeah, I mean,
throw Hawkeye in there too.
Yeah, Hawkeye too. I mean, well, I don't know about Hawkeye because of the
Hawkeye was the Secret Avengers team when they did the Secret Avengers in the comics. Hawkeye was a part of that team.
Yeah, but in the hold on here.
If you look it up, you'll see he's on the original Secret Avengers team when they did the Secret Avengers in the comics with Cap and Black Widow. Yeah. Scarlet Witch was on it.
Yeah, no. I know the lineup. I'm just saying in the MCU, I don't think Hawkeye will join the team because of the house arrest he did. And same thing with Ant-Man because they made a deal.
That's true. So,
yeah, I just couldn't see that.
For the movie, it would have been cool to see Hawkeye. Yeah. I would have liked that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner, he would have been a nice piece to the squad. But I would have really enjoyed that. If they would have done that movie, that would have made a lot of money.
Yeah, it could have. I mean, and also it could have set up the idea to like there's other branches of the Avengers besides the main ones.
They could have done that instead of doing the Black Widow solo film. They could have done it as the vehicle for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But think about it. They could have put her in the forefront.
Yeah, that's true. Sort of like Thunderbolts is doing with Elena.
It would have been more effective for her and whatnot, and worked out better for her and whatnot in terms of how her movie worked out.
Yeah, I mean,
that was bad planning.
Also it was kind of odd, after the character death. I mean, that was going to be weird no matter what. But anyway, getting back to Winter Soldier, so we cut back into this helicarrier, the Quinjet. We see, a strike team. That's where we're going to introduce Crossbones, Lumbo, played by Frank Grillo. And this is where, we get the Tasha and Steve relationship, like wrestling, which is great. And this is where, when they go to the boat ship where they need to stop terrorists, lead by a great, Fire that's playing Bottrek Leaper. In the movie, gorgeous Brockback, a mercenary and a master of French form of kickboxing fighting skills, is taking over the S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of undercover ship where Sitwell is in there. That's Sitwell, not a region we know from the first Thor film and then the Avengers and Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the show. He's also captured with the other hostages. And this sequence is where we really get the cool Captain America fights, where we see him full on super soldier level, like, because we know it's been 2 years since the first Avengers, and he's been learning how to train himself into different fight skills, like judo or karate or any forms of type of fighting from various assassins or employees from S.H.I.E.L.D., which we see here, and it's so incredible in display. And I mean, first of all, he knocks the guy out, the the cliff of the ship, which was so like brutal. And then at the same time here, he gets into the fight of the mercenary with the Leaper, and it's fantastic here. And this is where we get into the plot here, where he finds out that Natasha is doing something called Nick Fury, which he doesn't know, and that gets into trouble with Captain America, because he doesn't really like this, because she's endangering the mission. And then after the mission, we go back into the Trexkillian, the S.H.I.E.L.D's headquarters in Washington, where he confronts Nick Fury about the compromise of the mission with Natasha. And this is where we get really great Nick Fury material of how he lost his eye, and he didn't ask Captain America to do this because he didn't want to feel uncomfortable for him to do this certain thing. So he asked Natasha to do this particular mission. And then afterwards, they have this really great talk about his grandpa, which was really great and very deep, information about Nick as a person. And then we get into the main plot, where we see these 3 new generation helicopters with repulsion technology from start. What happened with the first Avenger movie got close, which that was a great way to pull that together. And they're using this very high tech security civilians to hit the target before the inevitable crime happens. So it's basically Minority Report, the Tom Cruise movie, Minority Report, where they stop a imminent crime before it actually happens. That's what S.H.I.E.L.D. is doing with these 3 helicopters and this like AI like surveillance technology they have they're developing. So, and this is where like Captain America doesn't agree with this. He thinks this is too like forced. I mean, this is fear. It is not freedom for everyone. And so, he doesn't agree with this program. And so that was really great. And then afterwards, we get into kind of like a very like slow moment for Captain America. We see Peggy Carter back again, and this was such a touching scene. Very sad. We see her, still alive. She has grandchildren, and unfortunately, she has dementia, which was really shocking when she starts coughing, and then she sees Captain America, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're alive, Stephen!" It was so, oh my God, such a killer moment. It was really sad. And then obviously, I skipped the part where he meets the museum for him in this Smithsonian, which was a great scene. That's a really great recap of what happened in the First Avenger. We see the Howard Commandos, so like he did for World War II. There we got a brief recap of Bucky Barnes, his friend. How he, it was the only soldier in that group to fallen down, die, and so I will stop right there, and then afterwards we'll give you guys like a trailer to break into these breaks. So Jeff, what do you think about that section of the boat action scene with Captain America saving the hostages, and then his conversation with Nick Fury about the helicarriers they're going to do to like stop the inevitable crime before it happens? And then of course the 2 scenes I brought up that's going to be our stop point is the Peggy Carter visit and the museum visit. What do you think about this section?
What do you think about what Robert Redford said about why he wanted to be in the film? He said what attracted him to the film was he was interested in being different from his usual work, and then he wanted to experience this new form of filmmaking that's taken over, where you have kind of cartoon characters brought to life through high technology. I thought that was really interesting. That's why he wanted to do the film.
I have another reason. I actually had this in notes. He also did this film because his grandchildren were fans of the Marvel films.
That makes sense.
And they wanted to see him in one of them. So the fact that he's actually in one of these films is kind of incredible.
It's Cobie Smulders talking about her playing Maria Hill in the film. She performed some of her own stunts in the film, explaining, "I try to do my own stunts whenever I can. You're only allowed to do certain stunts. There's an amazing team of stunt people that do most of the work in the film. But I studied a lot of Taekwondo. I also did a lot of training just with weapons because I'm not very comfortable around guns. I had to get comfortable because that's my character thing. I like to get real physical, so I feel empowered when I'm on set. And even though you don't see it on screen, maybe I'm taking people out that you don't see off camera." I thought that was cool. As far as what I think of the scene on the boat, I mean, it's a great action scene. him running through the fucking like mercenaries is awesome. Him kicking him in the air and shit, whatnot.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh my god.
Shield and shit, whatnot, just running through them. How he does, just running right through the boat. Like it's so well shot with the boat, like the circular motion, like end of the boat. You see him like running around, like the bend, like running around the corridors and the sides. They did a great job of shooting that on the boat. Like really well shot. And Black Widow's great on the mission. Grillo and his people and whatnot are all good in the mission, right? Like they're all really good. It's all really well done. It's high end, like high end action. The Russo brothers really did a great job with that, and the fight choreographers. The Batrick fight's really good. Where Cap's like knows how to speak French and takes off his helmet and puts the shield down and says, "I guess we'll see."
We'll see.
Or whatever. Like that's badass, dude.
Yeah,
give Cap an edge.
Yeah, he does, and the fact that he pushed him into the door is like incredible. Like he has really good punches in this.
I don't have anything else. I don't have anything to say about the Peggy Carter stuff. It's whatever to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
I just think Emily VanCamp is hot.
The niece, Eric Carter. Okay.
Carter, yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, it's funny because half of the community.
I don't care about Peggy Carter in this film. She doesn't mean anything to me.
Really? Okay. All right.
It's just, it's old hat. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot. I get it. She's old and like Cap still loves her and shit, whatnot, and all this shit. That I get it.
Okay. I mean, it was kind of expected. I was kind of like, oh, they had to confirm either or not she survived or not. So the fact that that's what he did, so it was good. I mean, it was a very sad moment that she couldn't remember the whole conversation they had. So that was really sad. The museum one, I mean, again, that was just like a typical, exposition, recap of, what happened between World War II and now.
Oh yeah, they're just tying up loose ends from before.
Yeah, exactly. Great museum. I mean, it looked real. That's something that you can imagine it to be in real life. Similar to what we're going to see in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, where they had like
it ties Bucky into the film right off the bat.
Yeah, because one of the I don't know you remember the review of the First Avenger. One of the big complaints was it just despite this trilogy of the Captain America films does a really good job of explaining the importance of friendship between Cap and Bucky, but in the first film he just didn't have enough character development and time in the first film, so it's always kind of tough to remember that was his friend when you get into this movie. So, but I mean, it works well because it kind of works. Because of Chris Evans is great and like you could sense that like loss and that friendship he's talked about. It's very genuine. But yeah, anyway, I think the sequence is good. The boat scene is fantastic.
Yeah, it's all solid.
Yeah. This is the part where I really got into liking Captain America because the fact that they show you this like crazy like feat that he could do, like to fight, and like how he fights with people with super enhanced abilities is really cool. It's similar to like in Man of Steel where we saw the Kryptonians moving so fast. It's really great. It's like that.
Yeah, it is. It's the action scenes are so well done in this movie that they're on like another level.
Yeah,
exactly. Chris Evans and the stunt people do such a great job. Like that set action scene is outstanding.
Yeah, it's really spectacular. Yeah, kudos to them. This is like John Wick.
That's why when you wanted to do geeky news, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like when we did Captain America Winter Soldier review, it took like 3 hours. When we did another show where we talked about the Captain America Winter Soldier, and the Captain America 4 preview, like or something like that, whatever, the same show, or like Winter Soldier in the same preview, like it's like a double show. It was like a 3-hour show or whatever, whatnot, because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, first, this movie had a lot of things that has affected the MCU, which we'll get into. But before we do that, let's do the trailer, and then we'll get back to discussing this movie as all his glory, as Jeff has been bringing up. So let's do it, sir.
I'll go outside to smoke a joint. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, this is a break, so let's do this. Here.
I'll be right back, folks.
Coming up on the drop zone, Cap.
You do anything fun Saturday night?
Well, all the guys in my barbershop quartet are dead, so no, not really.
You know, if you ask Kristen out from statistics, she'd probably say yes.
That's why I don't ask.
Too shy or too scared?
Too busy! Was he wearing a parachute? No. No, he wasn't.
I joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people.
Captain,
To build a better world?
sometimes means tearing the old one down. And that makes enemies.
Are you ready for the world to see you as you really are? You look out the window. You know how the game works. Disorder, war. All it takes is one step.
We're gonna neutralize a lot of threats before they even happen.
Thought the punishment usually came after the crime.
S.H.I.E.L.D. takes the world as it is, not as we'd like it to be.
This isn't freedom. This is fear.
You need to keep both eyes open.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Your work has been a gift to mankind. You've shaped the century. And I need you to do it one more time.
You're up. It's time.
Fantastic.
That's what would happen to Cap through the shield at me. I would just catch it like that.
Catch it like that. Oh my god, yeah, very funny. I mean, when he did that, I was like, whoa. Like, I mean, first of all, Winter Soldier catching it in one hand, what with his robotic arm was like, oh my god, never imagined that. So cool. Yeah, so you saw the trailer. I mean, I can't believe it.
That's one thing that Anthony Mackie will never be able to do. He'll never be able to do all the shit with the shield that Chris Evans could do.
Oh yeah, because he's not hands as like Captain America. Yeah,
No.
that's true.
So
Yeah,
it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But you expect him to know how to use the shield though in Captain America 4.
yeah.
He should know how to use the shield by then.
Yeah, well, and if people didn't see the Falcon show, you know, he did train before in the finale to like know how to use the shield. So like, I mean,
A training montage and whatnot and everything. It, like, you know, it was condensed down to like 30 seconds, but like it was like months.
yeah, so months. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's been what like 2 years since the show ended, so it's a long time for him to get used to it. So.
That was like the 2-year or 3-year anniversary the other day.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy. It premiered in March, remember? Like
Yeah, 3-year anniversary.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah,
MCU's Bleeding Edges, 3 years.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So getting back to the sweetie things. So after the relaxed thing, we get Nick Fury trying to get access with the flash drive he got from Natasha, but it doesn't work because somehow he authorized it to not be like unbreakable depiction or whatnot. So he has to go and delay Project Insight. That's the whole mission of sending the 3 helicarriers up in the air to prevent a pre-crime. So he goes to his old friend, Secretary Pierce, that's played by Robert Redford. Big Q to get this amazing actor to be part of this movie. they're friends. They've been part of Shield for a while. If we get into the information, and after that conversation, this is where we get another great action scene with Nick Fury, where he gets ambushed by these police officers. They're not there in that area. They're probably maybe terrorists undercover or something. Not so he gets attacked, and which is fantastic sequence where like his car is equipped with technology, like it's protecting him from bullets, but the capacity is getting kind of weakened, and then the moment when it saved 1%. He has this gun coming out from the
machine gun turret.
Yeah, the turret, right? And then that was a great moment. And then he's trying to escape from these, ambushers. And then this is where we get introduced to the Winter Soldier.
The car has like in-car driving mode and shit like that now, where he doesn't have to drive.
Yeah, because in the ambush, he had a fractured arm. In that moment, and so he couldn't really drive properly.
Or whatever, whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, and so incredible that he has a car like that to remote drive, which is great.
That's Nick Fury. Of course, Nick Fury would have a car like that. It's Nick Fury.
Yeah, certainly, of course. I mean, hey,
if who else had that car, wouldn't it be Nick Fury?
Yeah, I mean that or Stark.
This is before Secret Invasion, though. Pussy ass version of Secret Invasion. They have that car no more.
Yeah, no. I mean, he was getting too old for this. Kind of Nick Fury. He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm not gonna do this. So
now Samuel else is cashing checks.
Exactly. Now he's catching checks. Yeah. Anyway, I mean,
not in this film. No, in this film, he's handling his business.
Yeah, exactly. He's handling his business. So after the Winter Soldier ambushed him, his car is flipped. He has his like mini lightsaber to like duck him down to the sewers and whatnot. And then after that, he meets up with Captain America, talking about how S.H.I.E.L.D. has been compromised. And then it gives him the flash drive after getting shot by the Winter Soldier. And this is where you brought up was it Agent 13, Sharon Carter?
Yeah, Agent 13.
Yeah, and so
they cast her because of her physicality and because she looked like the character from the comics.
Yeah. I mean,
and because of her work in Revenge or whatever.
Yeah. She was in the show Revenge. That was right around this time. She was in the show Everyone. They're
secondary character in this film.
Yeah, I gotta say, so you like her?
She adds a love interest to Captain America and everything and whatnot. That's good for him. It's good for his character,
That's true. It's weird. It's good you're talking about this.
And plus, it would have been awesome if he would have done a threesome with her, with like 96-year-old Peggy and Sharon together.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god, that's so weird. Oh my god, please. Why you had to do that? That is
or whatever, whatnot. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, maybe in the future, like he time travel back to the 40s. Yes,
if he wasn't such a tight ass, he could have hit that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of wish he got together with Black Widow because I don't feel anything.
They don't have that kind of relationship. That's why they have the writing the way they do with the two of them, where like the dynamic is so buddy, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They automatically go to her setting up dates for him. They just don't have that kind of relationship. It's not there, and they want to set that up.
Yeah, I know that, but I feel like
they're more close friends than that. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I like their relation. I like that they're
by the time you get to Endgame, they're like best friends.
Yeah. No. I understand that. I just wish, like, here's the thing. I like that their relation is platonic. Like, I really dug that we got a really good friendship between these two characters. I
just hung out and was just platonic with her today. Can you believe that shit? I didn't even fuck her.
Yeah, exactly.
We hung out or not, and it was totally platonic.
Exactly. I mean, I'm surprised he. I mean, his only true love is Peggy Carter. So, like, let's be honest here. I mean, my thing with Sharon Carter is like she's such a weak love interest. I'm sorry, I just personally for me, she just doesn't cut it. And then I mean, you know, everyone should knows that she is the niece for was it
Already
Peggy?
said it. Peggy. He doesn't need to really have a love interest because Peggy is his ultimate true love.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I say. And the thing that's weird about these two that
he just buys a lot of lotion.
Yeah, lotion. Yeah, right. I don't know. Like I don't know why the Russo brothers, like I feel like this character is so superfluous. Like I don't think you need this character to add another love interest for Captain America. Like I don't understand that. It just
adds a little flavor to the film, and it harks back to the comics because in the comics they have a relationship.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, it's also weird in the comics too. Well, because it's weird because I don't really know this. I mean, I'm trying to figure out like they changed it in the continuity because Sharon, she's like a sister to Peggy Carter, and I think in the initial run in the '60s, and I don't know, like they went that way because the whole niche thing is just kind of weird. I don't know. Personally, for me, I feel like Sharon just doesn't make a lot of sense in these Captain America films. I understand she's from the comic books and like she was used during the very important.
I like the Fury chase scene is really good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Lightsaber thing that he pulls out and whatnot to cut himself into the sewer and shit and whatnot is awesome. It's awesome seeing the Winter Soldier, and that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah. So then after that, we get the chase thing with Winter Soldier and Captain America. We saw that in the trailer, which was really cool. Like after he gets the shield, it's like very cool. And then he gets into after that scene, we get the the confirmed death of McFeely, which is not true, but we'll get into that later on. Everyone's crying, they're heartbreaking that Nick died and all that. And then Captain America is pulled out of the hospital to meet the Secretary Pierce. And we get this really great line from the trailer, about to make a better world, we need to turn the old one down. A really great line from Robert Redford from that. It kind of explains the world view of the shield now, compared to the old one in the 40s or 50s, whatnot. And so after Captain America gets that confrontation with Secretary Pierce, he goes into the elevator, and this is where we get the great scene of the elevator scene where the strike team and some random agent shields are like coming down to Steve Rogers, and like and why are we seeing this? Nick Steve is like looking closely on the behavior of the agents. Like he sees one guard holding his gun like for no reason to maybe attack Steve. And then he sees one that's sweating. So, and then he sees this, this other one, that like he notices something's really off right now with these people around him. And then we get this really great battle scene in the elevator scene. And this is where we're going to stop. So what do you think about this sequence, Jeff, about the elevator scene? One of the best.
Really well choreographed. Really well choreographed. That's all I got to say. Very well choreographed.
Yeah.
I doubt Chris Evans did very much of that himself.
No, I mean, when you see his face, that's definitely him. But
jumps out of the elevator, that's awesome.
Yeah,
jumps out the elevator and shit and whatnot, everything, and lands on the concrete and shit and whatnot and all that. Like that was fucking intense.
Yeah, with the shield, and the suit. We haven't talked about the new suit. I like this new suit. I always dug it. It's very very sad that we don't see it afterwards in the scene. I really like the stealth suit he wears. It's really nice.
Yeah, so, darker tone blue.
Yeah, and this, cutting the red out, like it's like, he still is the American flag, and I think this is a great way to make it look cool. So I really dug this suit. It's really nice. So after that, we get this really cool, him escaping from S.H.I.E.L.D. He has the Harley motorcycle. He's a big Harley motorcycle guy, which is cool. And he attacks the Quinjet with the shield, which is neat. Seeing a very impressive feat of him stopping this like thing. And then afterwards, we meet up with Natasha, and Natasha, explains about what the Winter Soldier is. He's a ghost. He's like a very top level assassin with what did she say, like 20 kills or whatnot, and she Winter Soldier like shot her through the stomach while she was protecting this like nuclear engineer from Iran. Very interesting stuff, and this is where we get really fun buddy cop kind of feel to Natasha and Steve Rogers, where they're in this somewhat Apple kind of store, and this is very funny scene where they're pretending to be a married couple, and the guy is like just bugging them, and they're gonna get married in New Jersey, which is funny because I'm in New Jersey, so it's really cool. Marvel is in the Wonder World, which is great. And it's great. You think that in an action movie, like they're gonna like have an action scene in the mall, but instead you got Black Widow teaching Steve how to like be low key and how to like not be recognized, and it's so cool, especially the kiss, which is great. And then after that, after that sequence is done, you get in the car. The car sequence is really fun. She's asking if he ever kissed back in 1945. And like it's a really great sequence because you see how their friendship starts to kind of develop. Where Steve always wants he's very much a point. Like he wants to know the blue, like the gray and black area of life. Like he just wants to know the good guys and the bad guys, instead of this gray area, in life. And then Natasha is very much a liar. Like she likes to, keep everything close to her chest. And, where Steve wants her to be kind of honest, that's his deal with people. It's just honesty is something he's looking for, instead of this deceit and lies from, like Nick Fury or S.H.I.E.L.D. or in that general. So, while in that episode they were trying to look from this code, that this AI system that they're trying to pick up, and they locate in his old training area that he was trained before he became a super soldier back in the 40s. So they go back to that area in New Jersey, in my town, which is great. And he looks around, and then he go into this storage where it's not supposed to be, as Captain America kind of explains that the armory should be in certain like perimeter or something like that. And then they look around, they see pictures of Howard Stark and Peggy Carter and Tommy Lee Jones' character from the First Avenger. These are the 3 founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then they go down to this elevator, and they see this big like high wire computers like from the 70s. And then Natasha activates it, and then we meet this weird weird character. And of course this is Sola, the character, the Hydra scientist that worked with Red Skull from the First Avenger. It comes back in his full comic book accurate AI system, and we get this huge twist. Now, you haven't seen the film. I adore you guys to first watch the film before you know the twist. I mean, it's been 10 years, so you should know what happened. So the twist is our heroes find out that S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually Hydra. Hydra has been operating since in World War II, but they've been infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. ever since, and they caused so many accidents and assassinations that caused by them. So first off, leading up to Civil War, we discover in this, which I missed the first time until Civil War came out. I doubled back into Winter Soldier, and I saw, oh yeah, this is true. They sent the Winter Soldier to kill the Stark parents, and that's going to be a major thing in Civil War. And then of course they're the ones that they're trying to assassinate Nick, and they're trying to tear the world apart. And the whole goal for Hydra in this time is they're trying to convert the world to be in their side and their worldview, and that's why they're doing the S.H.I.E.L.D. carriers to knock out the potential threats of Hydra, the ones that are going to maybe take down Hydra, just like Captain America did in World War II. So Jeff, I know I brushed off a huge chunk of like this middle section. What do you think about the mall scene, and the twist about the Hydra being in Shield? Go ahead.
It's all really well done. It's all really well done. When they're on the run and all that shit and whatnot, the scenes are really solid. And the bringing Zola back like that, the digital form was really cool. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but like, that's okay. Cap saving, Nat's life and all that shit and whatnot was really dope. And finding out that Hydra is S.H.I.E.L.D. and whatnot was a really good plot point for like the MCU at that point.
Yeah. I mean, first off, it affects Age of Ultron. I mean, it affects Captain America's view quite a bit. Like after this point, he doesn't trust the government. That's the whole reason he doesn't sign the Accords in Civil War, because of what happened with the Hydra thing.
I probably didn't watch Winter Soldier until after I saw Infinity War.
Yeah. I mean, this and Civil War are very important in Infinity War and Endgame. You have to understand that these movies, like these two kind of movies.
I saw it, but I mean, I was probably like half out of it when I saw the movie, like before the Infinity War. You know what I mean? Like I was more with it when I watched it again afterward. Sam, when we reviewed it and everything and whatnot, I was more with it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when we did a show one time on a Friday night that was like the theme of it was pick your best two secondary characters from films, MCU films, that you feel like haven't been given their proper due or whatever, whatnot, or like weren't given enough praise for their contributions. And I picked Black Widow and Falcon for my 1 and 2. My number one pick was the two of them together, tied, right, for this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah. I agree, because especially Black Widow. Like, this movie made me like Black Widow. Like,
film where like they come together and whatnot and everything, right? And they're just so together that they're so good together as a group.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, Falcon is really great. I mean, he's getting his due now as Captain America. But Black Widow, I totally agree, because she's such a great character. I really love her. And I mean, this is definitely Scarlett Johansson's best performance of the character in this film, and minus the Endgame, I think. Another great performance, but I think this is a great film.
This is one of her best. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, they used Black Widow here so great, and this movie made me convinced that we can have a Black Widow movie, and it's just frustrating. We'll get into, like, I want to do a Black Widow review soon in this trailer, in this channel, for the characters like 60th anniversary this year. I feel like it just came so late to do the solo film. I mean, because all of us have said we want to see a Black Widow movie. It just took so long to even get it,
and conversation for another show.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just very frustrating. So yeah, and the twist, the Hydra twist. Let me get into that. I mean, the fact that twist happened was a huge deal. Like, this was Iron Man 3. Like, remember, this is a year after Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin twist. The fact that Marvel was able to hide these two major twists that like shook the whole pop culture thing is like crazy to me. Trevor being the fake Mandarin, and then you get this Hydra twist, which totally affect the MCU in a big way. Like, first of all, let's move on to the things like the senator from Iron Man 2 being a Hydra agent makes that movie even more, at least, watchable to watch now because of that twist that he wanted the Iron Man technology.
You don't need him to be a part of it.
Well, I mean, that's European, sir. I mean, look, that's the MCU. They're gonna connect everything from this twist. So it was kind of cool that they brought the senator and say that he's the Hydra agent. So that was really neat that they did that. And Stillwell is the Hydra agent. That was really cool that he's Hydra agent. It was just kind of funny. After the conversation with Solo, and he tricked them. He kind of like stalled them so that the missiles hit them, tried to kill them, but which they didn't. So after Captain America pulls Natasha out of the what do you call it, the debris, they go to Sam's house. because he's the only person he trusts right now, and he knows that he's a soldier. And we get this really cool way of introducing the wings, that he's like a air support rescue person, and he's using this technology that was something else. So they had to get that, and then after that they find Stitwell and talking to the senator who's from Iron Man 2. He's secretly a Hydra agent, so that was a great way to call back Iron Man 2. Then after that, we get our first introduction to the Falcon as the superhero, and here Stitwell explains the evil plan. As I said before, Hydra wants to target out all the potential Hydra threats that will kind of hurt them. So, and we get the drop list of Bruce Banner, Hulk. This is where we get our first mention of Doctor Strange for the first time before his solo film in Phase 3, and so after that they're in the car, and this is where we get the huge, great what do you call it? Road action sequence with the Winter Soldier with our true heroes. So this is where we get the proper Winter Soldier play sequence. He tanks each hero, and which is amazing. Like we see great action scene with the shield, which is amazing. And then afterwards, this is where we get to reveal that Bucky is the Winter Soldier, and Captain is shocked, and he's like, "Oh my god, Bucky!" And then it's like, "Who's Bucky?" And because we don't get to reveal that he's been brainwashed by Hydra, and so we get captured by the strike team, and then that's where we end the sequence. So when you think about the highway sequence and the whole like combat between the Winter Soldier and our heroes, jets, this was incredible. I mean, grounded, very like.
Earlier when Cap takes down that ship just by himself with his shield, that's really dope. But like like the whole Black Widow fighting the Winter Soldier and whatnot and everything, trying to fight him and all that shit and whatnot, him trying to kill her. Cap taking him on. It's great hand-to-hand combat, great action scenes. Russo brothers did a great job shooting it and whatnot. It was all really well done.
Yeah.
And it was really awesome that it was Maria Hill that frees them and whatnot and all that shit and whatnot. It was great for her to pop up.
Yeah, it was so great. I like how she said, "Oh, that thing was squeezing my head." That was a great line for her. So that was really great. That was a good way. And then after that, they meet McFeely. Oh, surprise, he's not dead. He's alive. He tricked everyone that he used a special thing that Bruce Banner used to calm himself. So he used that to like stop his pulse, apparently, to like trick them that he died. And so and this is where we'll be bringing up situation here in the live stream. It's like I think Nick Fury should have died in this movie. I just don't think they didn't know what to do with this character at all after this movie, and I just feel like.
Well, you wouldn't want because then he wouldn't be in Age of Ultron.
But he didn't do much in Age of Ultron.
But he was still there, like what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he just brings this like convenient. Oh, I got this leftover healthcare to conveniently help the Avengers to get these people out of this.
It's a cool part of the movie.
Okay. I mean, whatever we do, Age of Ultron, I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so I just don't think he had no purpose, and his appearance in the Captain Marvel movies is just like okay. I mean, I like him with Brie Larson, but like they just don't do anything with that. It's just there, They're trying to do the Captain America and Black Widow relationship with Nick and Captain Marvel. It just doesn't work in a way that like those two work. I don't know why, but I mean, it's just the thing. But yeah, anyway, I wish, despite I was happy that Fury did survive, but in hindsight, I never understand that I should have realized they didn't have anything else to say about this character after this movie. So it's a shame because he was dope in this film. I mean, come on, the guy is gonna have an extra eye that we didn't know he has, and then of course Captain Marvel had to retcon his eye being scratched by a cat alien, which is ridiculous. But anyway, so After that, we got Winter Soldier meeting Secretary Pierce. So I haven't discussed that. Secretary Pierce is actually a Hydra agent, so he's the main bad guy. Really the main bad guy for Nick to face. So after everyone is settled down, they discuss how to stop the villain plot, the helicarrier launch, and so they discuss that, and they're gonna take down S.H.I.E.L.D. completely, and after that, Steve is like pondering this moment that he remembers as his time with Bucky in the 40s. Very you remember when we did 22 Jump Street, they had the lobster scene that was not in the first film. It's literally like this. So we get the scene that's it's not even from the first film. It's a new scene for this film. With this line, "I'll be there." What do you say? Like, "I'll be there. I will be with you towards the end of the line," and then that's going to be reread again from Steve to Bucky now in this present day to trigger his memories. So it's a big setup for that. So anyway, after that, everyone's going to sit up and get ready for the plan, and then we get Captain America go back to the Smithsonian and steals the Captain America First Avenger suit from World War II. And then we get a great cameo from Stan Lee himself saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to get fired." Great cameo. I really dug that. Him being the security guard first at the Smithsonian. Really neat. So then after that, we get into the third act. And the third act is amazing. It's full of action-packed with the helicarriers. First up, we get the work chancellor, the work chancellor visiting S.H.I.E.L.D. seeing the Project Insight being launched, and while this, we get Captain America giving a great speech to S.H.I.E.L.D., confirming that Hydra is S.H.I.E.L.D. and everyone that around you cannot be trusted. It's a really great speech, and one that really gives Captain America this is where I was with Captain America for the first time. This is the character at his best. Is that speech he tells about S.H.I.E.L.D. and the whole Hydra thing was really great. And then after that, whole blowout happens. Everyone is trying to stop the helicarriers being launched. And then while this, we Cheers gets his strike team there, but the strike team gets neutralized because one of the work counselors is actually Black Widow in disguise. We get the first appearance of the hologram mask that's basically Mission Impossible for them, which we'll see that technology again and being used by Sharon in the series finale for Falcon and Winter Soldier. We see this again in the Black Widow movie. So what do you think about this section, Jeff, of building up to the third act of the helicarriers launching in? I really dug it. The speech is great by Captain America about choosing the side you're in, all that, and then the reveal of Black Widow being in the chancellor in that moment.
The reveal of Black Widow was really good with the technology and all that stuff and whatnot. It's a really good scene for her, and the speech is really cool. It adds a really cool element and whatnot to see the infighting between the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and whatnot and everything after the speech.
Yeah, I agree. It's really great, especially when Sharon Carter in that room where Crossbones
finds Grillo and everything and whatnot.
Yeah, really great, and I really dug that sequence. It's incredible, and then after that, we get this weird helicopter coming down, and we got Nick Fury being badass. He has his traditional black coat, his eye patch, and then we get this cool reveal of Nick Fury having an eye. He has this robotic eye, I guess. I don't know.
No, this was his bad eye. That it never occurred to anybody that his bad eye was useful or whatnot and can be used for the scanner.
That's true. Okay. Because I was always thinking that kind of is that a robotic eye or I did. That makes sense because I always thought that he lost an eye like Owen. In the first Thor movie, Owen, his eye got cut out. I
understand. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I always thought that maybe that was a robotic eye. Okay, that makes sense. See,
because they did the Captain Marvel movie later on and whatnot and everything with the Flurkin and all that shit and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, the first one. Fuck that. That's giving me a nightmare. When I first saw that in theaters, the Captain Marvel thing, cat scratching Nick Fury, I was like, "Fuck you." Okay, Winter Soldier is the best movie ever.
You know what I think about Captain Marvel?
Yeah, and you're telling me a cat? He say he didn't. He did once he trusts someone is a cat and like lost his life because of cat trust. It's like, come on, dude.
He's really good in this film.
Yeah, so Nick Fury, this is the last time Nick Fury was badass, great, dope, character development. Like, this is the last time you're going to see a great Nick Fury, folks.
It's the writing.
Yeah, it's the writing. I mean, this is great. And one thing I want to bring up is the pacing.
It's what they want Fury to be with the writing. It's not his fault.
No, yeah, and I mean, like, just like the comics, like, everyone has their interpretation of this character. I get that there's different people that takes these characters from different movies, from the Avengers movies, and whatever movie that they pump up. Remember
one of the phase. This is one of the initial the phase 1 through phase 3 when the writing was good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is where we had good writers. I mean, like, I don't like Joss Whedon, but like, he was a good writer and he did a good job of handling it here and there. Yeah, so just wrap up. The third act. This is pretty much a great cinematic thing. We get
I love Sophia Hill. I love her. I love her whole role as like a supporting character and whatnot to like the final mission.
Yeah. I really like her. I like she's the woman in the chair. She's like the man in the chair. For people like to hear the ear comes like
dudes and shit and whatnot. When they come up
Yes, I love that when she's like, hold that moment, and like she pulls her guns and kills them. Oh my god, that was a great moment.
They kill a lot of people in this. Like Black Widow kills people with their guns and whatnot and everything. Falcon shoots people.
Yeah,
kills people. Right, like he shoots the S.H.I.E.L.D. people and whatnot and kills them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, this movie.
Cap actually throws a knife and sticks a knife into the dude in the beginning scene.
In the beginning scene, yeah. Oh my god, that was
like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of killing.
Yeah, I dug it. Yeah,
people.
Yeah, well, hey, they're not pulling their punches, so it's great. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, in general, Marvel never pulled their punches. They always, done a good job of killing. Have these good great kills.
The Russo brothers that didn't cut their punches or whatever whatnot. There was not much killing in the other movies except for this one.
Well, no.
This is the movie where you see Falcon killing people.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I guess it's not pronounced like some other
movie. He actually shoots people with his with his guns and shit and whatnot and kills them.
Yeah. I mean, what about the first Iron Man movie?
Too. She shoots dudes and whatnot and everything and kills them in this movie multiple times.
That's true. I mean,
you don't see it in the other movies.
Not every movie. Like every other movie, I do see. I mean,
Ultron.
Nah, I mean, well, yeah. Well, Ultron is different. I mean, you're dealing with robots. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I've seen other movies that done that. I mean, like the Dark Knight trilogy has that like a couple times there. It's not pulling their punches there too. It just depends. Like, I mean, with Age of Ultron, it's more sci-fi. It's more sci-fi. Like I think I'm thinking more like Daredevil or Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Punisher, and somewhat Spider-Man a little bit. It depends what kind of movie. I mean, this is the most grounded like Marvel Studios film. If you think about it, right? Like it's dealing more like terrorism. It's like Hydra being the science, 40s division, but it's much more real than some of the other MCU films you get. Like especially this is the same year with Guardians. Actually, you think about it, like Guardians is the same year when this movie came out. Just different months. Anyway, this is where the helicarriers are like coming up, and the plan for the heels is they had to put these microchips into each of the systems so that each of the helicarriers up there could shoot themselves to bring them down. That's the only way to get these things, off, not to be, functional. So they take them down very easy by each charter of the weapons in the helicarrier. they successfully do that, but the third one is hard because the Winter Soldier is in that one ship, and I say it like he fights with Captain America, and Captain America gets his butt like kicked really hard here. You know, he gets shot through the chest, and and then when the ship is going down, like he gets really brutally hit by the Winter Soldier. I mean, his arm is very strong. I mean, it's robotic, and it was like his right eye gets like really bruised, and he says that line I brought up. I will be to you to the end of the line, and then it somewhat saves his life. Falling down to the water, and that's where we kind of wrapped up the film. We see each character like Marie Hill joins Stark Industries, so she works kind of like directly to Tony Stark in that moment, which we see in Age of Ultron. And Black Widow confronts the United Nations about what happened with S.H.I.E.L.D. Great speech, and I really like that. And then we see some of the rest of the senator from Iron Man 2. Now that Hydra is exposed. And then Captain America wants to find Bucky. Not that the Winter Soldier is kind of like he's under the grid, as some assassins will say. They will go under the grid to like hide themselves for a while, not to be, get captured by the authorities, right? And then after this, and then we got the post credit scene. We got two. We got one from Bucky. He's like in the Smithsonian. He's kind of like catching up his life as well. But this is probably the best post credit scene. Is where we get this random Hydra two scientists. Strucker, Brennan Strucker. He's a comic book character. He's part of the Hydra regime in the comic books. So it was great to see him there. He's played by the actor. Jeff, I don't know if you know this. This actor that plays Strucker, he played the villain in Blade 2, and as the vampire, he's in the remake of he's in the remake of the Peter Jackson's King Kong. And what else he was in? He's in a lot of movies. Let me get his character here. He was in King Kong, Cars 2. So yeah, he's in the new Indiana Jones film, The Dial of Destiny. He was Colonel Repper. I haven't seen the new movie. I don't know if you've seen that one. He was in that as well. He was in Spectre, Hitman, the Agent 47 movie. He was in there. I'm looking for some other films that probably know. But yeah, he's a very prominent actor. He plays Strucker. And this is where we get the introduction of the twins, the Maximum twins. This is where we get our Pedro and Wanda Maxwell. We get to introduce the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. We get discovered that the Hydra actually have the scepter from Loki in the Avengers, and they use experiments on these two twins, as we discover in Age of Ultron, and then later on in WandaVision. A great sequence to get these two characters to get introduced in before we see Age of Ultron the year before, the year after this movie get released in 2014. We think about Captain America with Soldier, the third act, and the post credit scene with the twins.
The post credit scene with the twins is really is a big moment in the MCU, and sets up Age of Ultron really well. And the mission to take out the helicarriers is again just outstanding filmmaking.
Yeah,
just really well done and whatnot and everything. Right, great ending to the movie and whatnot and everything. Right, and the way that they end it with Sam saying, "When do we start?" To Sam or whatever, to Steve, whatever, whatnot, is really great. It's I love the Maria Hill component to it, the Black Widow component.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Nick Fury, Falcon does a great job in doing his part in the final battle, type of scene and whatnot. Everything, taking the helicarriers out and watching them hit the water and shit and whatnot, and like get destroyed and all that, and shoot each other. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
really well done. The CGI, the budget of this was 177 million, and like you can see why.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the helicarriers, like it looks really good. The special effects has been really awesome. I mean, the robotic arm is like so much CGI and it looks really great. I mean, to this day. It's
Yeah.
awesome. The Russo brothers tried their best to keep it like less CGI, like practical effects, which you do see here. Like there's a lot of practical effects in the film, you know, like stunts and all that. Like they do a really good job at that, which is neat. You know, because
the helicarriers, they had to be done with CGI.
yeah, I mean, I understand that, and it's really good. I mean, the CGI has been pretty good in this movie since 10 years since its release. Rating. Let's do this. What's your rating of this film? Is it still a 10 out of 10? Or...
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Okay, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 as well. I think it's one of the best MCU sequels. I mean, this is the Captain America trilogy is the best trilogy of the MCU. Period. I don't care what people say. I don't think Spider-Man. I personally don't think the Spider-Man trilogy is really the best. That is very inconsistent. I mean, for me, that comes close to being the best trilogy is the Guardians films. I don't know what you think about it, Jeff, but I think the Guardians is like second after Captain. That's the best trilogy. But yeah, it's just really the opinion. Like it's up to you guys. I mean, I just think the Guardians films are definitely perfect trilogy after Captain America trilogy. So, yeah, Jeff, buddy, I want to say thank you, sir, for coming to this Sunday live stream. You did an awesome job here today.
Thank you, sir.
You were fashionable today, which I like. I mean, this is going to be my favorite live stream because the X hat was here, so that's great. Yeah, you know, as always, buddy, I was always happy that you always help me get improved with the live streams. Thank goodness the show.
No problem, sir. You're doing better.
Yes, thank you. So as always, folks, just to recap, don't go yet. I want to reveal the stuff we're gonna do. So tomorrow, Monday before, we're gonna do X-Men 97 episode 2 review. That's gonna be awesome. And then we're gonna do our recap / finishing up The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. That's gonna be awesome. We have guests right tomorrow with
no guests.
No guests. Just the 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No guests on anything.
Oh really? No guests tomorrow. Okay.
No.
Oh wow.
Later on in X-Men 97, we'll have more guests.
Okay. All right. In the next weeks. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. And Wednesday we got our Shogun episode 7 review. I'm very excited for that. I'm not gonna be in Friday movie review, folks. I'm sorry. But it's gonna be what's the movie review you guys gonna do Friday? City Slickers 2. Yeah. So please support them. Watch that movie review of City Slickers 2.
Doing Fallout on Saturday too.
Oh, Fallout and Saturday review. Okay. And I will probably announce this. I will probably join the Fallout review, folks. I hopefully let me see if I'm able to see the Fallout in my TV. If not, I need to just ask Jeff to give me the Prime.
I'm gonna give you the Prime shit so that you can watch it.
Yeah, let's just go watch it.
I'm gonna ask you if you want to come on and join on Saturday or not.
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness next week I'm off.
It's 8 p.m. So
9 p.m. Oh,
8 p.m. 8 p.m.
Oh, 8 p.m. Oh wow. Okay.
8 p.m.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's where we're at right now with this week. Our contact in MCU Bleeding Edge. And before we leave, here's the link to show that. So check it out, and we should be good. Jeff, thank you so much, buddy, for joining me. Thank you for joining, converting the trailers. So
no problem, sir.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and good night. And